Pokemon Go in November is looking pretty good, and today I'm breaking down everything you need to know and what should you actually spend your time on so you can plan your calendar accordingly. Let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, what's going down in November? Well, from the 7-day research breakthrough box, you can get encounters in November with Alakazam, Aggron, Sinistee, Morpeko, Dreepy, and Frigibax. As far as 5-star legendary raids during the month, until November 4th, there will of course be Giratina in the altered form. That will then switch in from November 4th to the 11th, which Raikou, Entei, and Suicune will be in legendary raids. Then on November 11th, you'll have Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele, which can know Nature's Madness in raids just for one day. Then on November 12th, you'll have Duskmane Necrozma in raids just for one day, and you will get Solar Fusion energy from defeating these Pokemon. Then November 13th, you'll have Tapu Bulu and Tapu Fini in raids, which will also know their legacy move Nature's Madness for one day. And finally, on November 14th, you will have Dawnwing's Necrozma, and you can get Lunar Fusion energy from defeating these Dawnwing Necrozma raids. We haven't been confirmed what the raid boss from on November 17th will be, but on November 18th until November 25th, it is going to be Heatran in raids, no legacy move. Most likely that's just a typo, and Heatran's going to be in raids from the 17th to the 25th. Finally, November 25th to December 2nd, Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion are returning. Do note as well, raiding tier 5 legendaries between November 10th and the 16th will have a chance to have the Go Wild Area 2025 special backgrounds. You can get an exclusive background if you raid in those times. As far as mega raids during the month, until November 4th, you have Mega Gengar, Sableye, and Banette. November 4th to the 11th will be Mega Beedrill, Mega Pinsir, and Mega Heracross. The 11th to the 18th will be Mega Tyranitar and Mega Altaria. The 18th to the 25th will be Mega Ampharos and Mega Manectric, and the 25th to December 2nd will be Mega Aerodactyl, Medicham, and Mega Garchomp. As far as Shadow or Legendary raids during the month, they're not bad, with Shadow Latios appearing in 5-star Shadow raids on the weekends this month. But they did mess up last month where Shadow Latias was actually spawning outside the weekend, so we can end up seeing just Shadow Latios raids just appear at any time, but that's what they advertise. Then on November 10th all day, you'll have Shadow Ho-Oh and Shadow Lugia in raids, yes, appearing during the Into the Wild event in raids for one day. And on November 15th, you'll have Shadow Cresselia, and on November 16th, Shadow Darkrai in raids. These are the raid bosses, of course, for the Go Wild Area event. And of course, same thing from November 10th to the 16th, all of these Shadow Legendary Pokemon can get the Go Wild Area special background. Okay, as far as raid hours, there's a lot happening this month. Normally raid hours every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m., but they're hosting special events this month where we're going to have more raid hours than normal. A raid hour is 1 hour where a raid boss will appear more frequently on 25-minute timers, so you can do 2 raids from 1 gym. And during the season, catch a legendary during a raid hour and you'll be guaranteed a rare Candy XL. Raid hours for this month are going to be November 5th, you'll have Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. November 10th, Shadow Ho and Shadow Lugia are getting a raid hour. November 11th, Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele. November 12th, Duskmane Necrozma. November 13th, Tapu Bulu and Tapu Fini. November 14th, Dawnwing's Necrozma. November 19th for Heatran, and November 26th for Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion. As far as Dynamax rotation Pokemon during the month, we're going to have a couple new Dynamax bosses appearing, with each of them getting their max Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. on the Monday they appear. November 3rd to the 9th, you'll have Dynamax Inkay in the power spots. November 10th to the 16th, Dynamax Ralts. November 17th to the 23rd, Dynamax Toxtricity in both the amped and low-key form. November 24th to November 30th, Dynamax Eevee, which is new. Yes, Dynamax Eevee is here. And December 1st to December 7th, Dynamax Darumaka. Of course, these Dynamax bosses will be mixed in with already existing Dynamax bosses, but those are the featured ones. As far as eggs this month, from 2Ks, you can hatch Squirtle, Mudkip, Bonsly, and Happiny. From 5Ks, you can hatch Alolan Vulpix, Tyro, Mantike, and 10Ks will have Larvitar, Sableye, and of course there will be more than just that, but those are the standouts. Spotlight hours every Tuesday 6 to 7 p.m. One Pokemon will appear more frequently in the wild with a unique event bonus. What are the ones going down this month? Well, November 4th we have Weedle with the bonus of 2 times transfer candy. If you actually catch Weedles during the Spotlight hour, there's a chance you get Mega Beedrill energy as well, which is nice. November 11th we'll have Morlul with 2 times Evolve XP. Morlul does get you 500 Stardust per catch, so catch the Morluls. Play that Spotlight hour if you're in need of Stardust. Same thing with Sableye Spotlight Hour, November 18th with the bonus of 2 times Catch Stardust, meaning every every Sableye you catch will get you 1,500 Stardust, and this can be even more on a star piece. So if you need Stardust, play the Sableye Spotlight Hour. It is going to be one of the best Stardust events of the month. November 25th will then be Scraggy with 2x catch XP. Now, all these raid bosses and mini events is not all going down because we have a couple major events happening you might want to mark your calendars for. Starting off with G-Max Garbodor Max Battle Day, November 1st from 2 to 5 p.m. I have a tips video you can watch up here if you want to know the tips for that event. G-Max Garbodor will be making its debut during that event. Then the Enchanted Hollow event, November 4th to November 9th. It's going to be debuting Tarantula and Spidops and gonna have Shiny Boost on Shiny Paris and Stanler, a bug-focused event. The Into the Wild event, the event leading up to the Go Wild area, our third major event of the year, is Monday, November 10th to November 14th. This is the event that's going to be featuring all of those raid hours and cool raid bosses that I mentioned earlier, and will debut Dynamax Ralts and its evolutions. Then, of course, we have the Go Wild area global event, November 15th and November 16th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tips video about that event. That's one you're not going to want to miss. Pretty much on par with GoFest. Then the High Voltage event will be after that, November 18th to the 22nd, featuring most likely electric type Pokemon. Dynamax Toxtricity is returning to Pokemon Go that week, so of course that links into the event, but we could also see different electric type Pokemon getting their shiny release, like potentially shiny Tadbulb, Yamper, or shiny Morpeko, and potentially Pincurchin and Wattrel being debuted in Pokemon Go. Then we have the Dynamax Max Battle Weekend, November 21st to November 22nd. This Dynamax weekend will most likely see some G-Max Pokemon and potentially Dynamax Pokemon returning. It's been leaked that G-Max Meowth has been added to the game file, so we could end up seeing this Pokemon come, although it's not good. The final Justice event is November 25th to November 30th. This event will most likely release the final special research lines to get us Keldeo and teach it Secret Sword so you can transform it into the Resolute form, which is what we've been waiting to do all season, so it's coming on November 25th. There's also going to be a Dynamax Max Battle Weekend, November 29th to November 30th, so a lot of Dynamax Max Battle Weekends. Again, I don't know what we're going to see. It's a 2-day event, so we could see like the G-Max Kanto starters return or some sort of G-Max Pokemon return, or a Dynamax boss, we'll see. Finally, November 30th is going to be November Community Day from 2 to 5 p.m. This community will most likely have the bonus of 3x catch XP, so if you need XP, go for it for that. Don't know what will be featured, potentially Picky Peck with Beak Blast could be cool. We'll have to wait and see what they announce. Okay, so that is everything going down in November, but not everything is the same value, and there's only specific things you want to hunt for. So let me break that down for you guys right now with the best raid bosses to go after. We're starting off with Raikou, which is a decent electric type attacker in Pokemon Go, but specifically Dynamax Raikou is the number 3 Dynamax electric type attacker in Pokemon Go, so there's a good opportunity to get candies for it. You then have Heatran in raids, which with its legacy move Magma Storm is a top fire attacker, being ranked 16 with Fire Spin and Magma Storm, and number 3 in the Shadow variant. You're gonna have to give it an elite charge TM to get that move on it, but still very strong. We also have Duskmane Necrozma in raids, which is the number 3 steel type attacker in Pokemon Go, and the number 19 Pokemon in the Master League. Also, Dawn Wings Necrozma will be making its return, with Dawn Wings Necrozma being the number 1 ghost type attacker in Pokemon Go and the number 13 Master League Pokemon. So 2 very, very strong versions of Necrozma. If you don't have them, you want to get them. The Shadows are also returning, with Shadow Latios returning in Pokemon Go, which is a top Dragon type and Psychic type attacker in Pokemon Go, and Shadow Ho and Shadow Lugia returning. Shadow Ho is ranked 47 in the Master League and a decent fire type raid attacker in Pokemon Go, and Shadow Lugia being ranked number 12 in the Master League. So another very, very strong Pokemon, and their regular forms are good as well to grind candies if you need those. You then have Shadow Cresselia making its debut in raids during the Go Wild area day 1, which that Pokemon is actually ranked number 43 in the Ultra League, so not bad to grab for that. And then we also have Shadow Darkrai, which is the number 5 dark type attacker in Pokemon Go. Finally, we have Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion as far as the legendaries go, with Cobalion and Virizion being good in PvP, being ranked 24 for Cobalion in the Ultra League and 9 for Virizion in the Ultra League. Then Terrakion is a good raid attacker for the fighting and rock type, being ranked number 5 with Double Kick and Sacred Sword, and being ranked number 14 as a rock type with Smackdown and Rock Slide. As far as the Megas go, Mega Heracross is returning, which is a top bug type attacker in Pokemon Go. If you don't have this regional, you can get it through the Mega Raids. Mega Tyranitar is returning with Bite and Brutal Swing, being the number 1 dark type attacker in Pokemon Go, and the number 2 rock type attacker in Pokemon Go. Then you also have Mega Altaria, which is good to grab because you can go ahead and catch this Pokemon, so you have access to to Mega Boost for it for the Go Wild Area event, which is going to be spawning a lot of Dragon and Fairy type spawns like Dreepy and Impidimp, so you can get Mega Boost for those Pokemon and get more candy and XP for catching them. Mega Manectric is returning with Thunderfang and Wild Charge. It's the number 6 electric type attacker in Pokemon Go, and it only costs 100 Mega Energy to evolve. And Mega Aerodactyl is returning with Rock Throw and Rock Slide, the number 8 rock type attacker, and Mega Garchomp returning with Mudshot and Earth Power, the number 2 ground type attacker, and Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe, the number 3 Dragon type attacker in Pokemon Go. So overall, some great Megas and some great legendaries to hunt this month. As far as Dynamax Pokemon to focus on, Dynamax Inkay is making its debut, which currently in Pokemon Go, Dynamax Malamar won't be very good, but Malamar does gain a Mega Evolution in Pokemon Legends ZA, so when that does come to Pokemon Go, this Pokemon could be a very strong Mega to have. Dynamax Ralts is going to be making its debut as well, with Dynamax Gardevoir and Dynamax Gallade being pretty good. Dynamax Gardevoir with Max Starfall is going to actually be the number 1 Fairy type Max attacker we currently have in game. Dynamax Gallade with Max Knuckle will also be the number 3 Fighting type attacker. And both these Pokemon with Max Mindstorm, their Psychic Dynamax move, the number 5 Psychic type. So overall, very, very good Pokemon to get. They also both have Mega Evolutions, which are very, very strong. Dynamax Eevee is also making its debut, which brings 8 new Dynamax Pokemon to the game because all the evolutions. As far as the best ones to go after, Dynamax Jolteon with Max Lightning will be the number 4 electric type attacker. Dynamax Vaporeon could be a good tank Pokemon for the water typing, especially because it does have the move Water Gun and an HP value of 227. Dynamax Flareon with Max Flare will be the number 5 max attacker for the fire type. Dynamax Espeon with Max Mindstorm, the number 3 psychic type attacker. Dynamax Leafeon with Max Overgrowth, the number 5 grass type. Dynamax Glaceon with Max Hailstorm will be the number 1 ice type, outclassing even Gmax Lapras. And Dynamax Sylveon with Max Starfall, the number 2 fairy type max attacker. So Dynamax Eevee, definitely one you want to get because you can get all sorts of different Dynamax attackers and they're all pretty good. Dynamax Darumaka will also be returning with Dynamax Darmanitan with Max Flare, the number 3 fire type attacker. Okay, what about events though? Because that's the raid bosses, that's the Dynamax bosses. Is there any events you should skip and just avoid putting on your calendar? Well, the best ones to focus on will be Dynamax Inkay Max Monday. Specifically, if you need to evolve a Cubfu, make it your buddy because every single Dynamax Inkay you defeat in a max battle will be 1 more point towards evolving towards a single strike Urshifu. Morlo Spotlight Hour is one you want to put on your calendar. That one's going to be on November 11th, 6 to 7 because Morlo gets you 500 Stardust per catch. If you happen to be level 71 and need to earn 1 million Stardust, this is a great event to play to grind a lot of Stardust. But if you only can play one Spotlight Hour, I'd actually play Sableye Spotlight Hour the week after because it gets you 750 Stardust base, but the bonus is ×2 Stardust. So you're going to be getting 1500 Stardust or 2250 Stardust on a star piece per Sableye you catch. Again, overall great to work on that 1 million Stardust for level 72, and Stardust is always useful. Gmax Garbodor Max Battle Day is a good one to play. I just released a tips video and I always say Gmax days are worth playing for the resources alone. You can get up to 75,000 Stardust per Gmax battle you complete and 200,000 XP for 1 Gmax battle. The resources are insane. They are expensive, but even if you can't spend money, I would still use all your free max particles to do them because it's huge amounts of resources to gain, even if you don't like Garbodor. The Into the Wild event is going to be one definitely worth playing as well. That's the event releasing a bunch of different raid bosses and raid Pokemon. And for the first time, the silver bottle cap will be available for unfortunately $15 USD, which sucks, but I'll have a tips video about that event coming out and how to take advantage of it. Finally, the event to play this month is of course the Go Wild Area Global. It is November. It is Go Wild Area month. This is a 2-day event. As I mentioned before, November 15th and 16th, we have Impidimp making its shiny debut. We have Dark Fairy spawns. We have Shadow Cresselia, Shadow Darkrai, Mighty Pokemon returning, Gmax Grimmsnarl, so much and so many videos coming out about how to maximize on this event. So subscribe to the channel here and watch these other 2 videos on screen if you want to start getting prepped for it now. See y'all in the next one, guys. Follow for more tips. Peace.